I'd like to first thank the honorable faculty at BPP Birmingham bestowing the honor upon me of giving this student address on this auspicious occasion. I say it is auspicious because I have my reasons. With today being the last official day at school, the last day of classes, the end seems to be in sight. There is, after all, light at the end of the tunnel. But more importantly, and tonight, we are actually sitting all together under one roof, perhaps the last time in the rest of our lives. That's something to think about tonight. From here, each of us will lead unique lives and careers. May they all be very successful. And may you all lead lives that are meaningful and satisfying. Because that's what matters in the end. But what a roller coaster ride this has been the last 10 months. Full of adrenaline, especially the last 6 months. I remember going week upon week, preparing for advocacy on a Tuesday, conference on a Wednesday, sometimes even having both on the same days. That was very cool. Preparing for and writing a complex opinion at times. And along with that, we had to prepare for our criminal and civil courses as well. Imagine going through those monstrosities known as the White Book. As one of our colleagues aptly says, cure for insomnia. At times it felt brutal, but I think there were two things that helped us go through this time: comradeship and our tutors. There was something unique about the BPP Birmingham cohort, I believe. Maybe it was because of the right size of students that we have, of the right size of faculty that we have, and the mix that we have. There was this form of cohesion within the student body and with the faculty as well. There was a facilitative sort of a culture. We used to help each other out. I must say, not in the reach of ethics. But I believe, I must say, very responsibly. It was expected that you had done the work. And sometimes our discussions and arguments actually became part of the learning process and actually broadened our horizons, at least for me. And then who can forget some of the discussions that we had in the BPTC, ranging from social issues, I would say, to very heated political debates as well. Almost on every topic under the sky. Consider there were foreign policy experts, experts on the American political system, Donald Trump, Brexit. Sometimes the debates got so heated that you could hear our voices right across the library. I remember at least on 2 occasions, poor Priya, she used to run inside and say, keep it down. But it would be safe to say that none of this journey would have been possible without our tutors. The brilliant faculty that we had, especially under the leadership of our very own Captain Kirk. I remember my first day here at BPP Birmingham. I had missed the first week of classes. I had missed the orientation because of visa issues. I was told that I would be met by Vincenzo himself, and he gave a good 1 hour. And he started with the do's and don'ts of the BPTC program, and then most of our discussion revolved on how hard and difficult this was. At one point, I thought that maybe he was trying to convince me to reconsider the meeting. And I got a bit irritated at one point, and I said, Vincenzo, I've done the MBA MBA is pretty tough, and this must be doable. So, and Vincenzo gives me this look, saying, you don't know what you've got in you. And he says, this is tougher. This is harder. If there was someone who couldn't come up and meet the standards of the BPTC, I would suggest that they do the MBA. And he was right, this was tough. This wasn't easy. I wouldn't want to go through it again. If the BPTC cohort at Birmingham was like a family, then Vincenzo was definitely the dad. He was definitely the father figure. I still can't forget some of the shouting sessions that we had, advocacy sessions, especially when Vincenzo wasn't pleased, most of the times. But there were some times when he used to come down from his pedestal and get behind the lectern and show us how it's done. But for me, I used to see magic. That really was a performance. And Vincenzo, I hope that I become half as good an advocate as you are. But having said that, I pity the council appearing in front of him whenever he becomes judge. Especially when he starts with the phrase, council, I am willing to be persuaded. One of my aims to join the BPTC program was to develop my advocacy skills and polish them. I believe both Vincenzo and James played a great role. Where Vincenzo was all about passion and aggression, James was all about style and grammar. James taught us the art of finesse. He taught us the subtle art of setting up a trap for the unsuspecting witness. Where Vincenzo had the style of cornering a witness and then pouncing him on him and then tearing him to shreds. James had his unique style. He used to actually convince the witness to dig his own grave. That is art. James also taught us criminal litigation. The class that we all used to wait in anticipation. Of course, in anticipation of learning something new as well. But I think it was more in anticipation of which poor soul would attract James. And you could sense it when your eyes met with his. You could see the twinkle in his eyes. Sometime during second term, I believe, he started developing a couple of favorites, maybe every class. At least they were in our class. But he was so good at it that they used to actually look forward at getting picked by him. They enjoyed it as well. But how can I go on and not mention the man who taught us how to write a well-structured opinion? Uncle Andrew. For those who've had the experience of living in extended families, you have your dad's younger brother who acts like the adult with the rest of them. But when he gets with you, he is loads of fun. One of his greatest virtues is his kind-heartedness. Where dad, obviously everyone knows who that is. He wouldn't allow you that candy that you wanted, especially before an exam. Andrew would secretly take it out from his pocket. Maybe he's the most kind-hearted barrister on the circuit, even though he fatally flawed 90% of there was a method to his kindness. And perhaps I can safely say that the greatest jump in at least my learning curve in any subject was how to write a well-structured opinion. So thank you, Dad, for that. And then there was the calming effect of Ryan. The man who got us through civil. And the man who made sure that he had his one-on-one sessions where he was the person tutor to them. But what I learned from him was his style of saying, of not taking life too seriously. He was all about chill and relax. And that is an important lesson to take as well. It's a pity that he couldn't see us till the end of the BPTC program, but I would like to take this opportunity to thank him on behalf of the students and say that our gratitude is conveyed to him. I believe that each one of our tutors have left their footprints on every one of us. Through the highs and the lows, through the yeses and the nos, they have armed us with the basics of what we shall be needing in our professional careers. And then it's up to us on how we develop it. On behalf of the BPTC class of 2016 and 17 at BPP Birmingham, student members of all four of the Honorable Inns of Court sitting here today, future barristers, future judges, politicians, but most of all and above all, good human beings. I express our